Hey guys, this is Selena. I'm here with Chloe Wilder to talk about her newest single. Hey.
Hi, thank you for having me.
No problem. How are you doing?
Good, how are you?
Good. Where could you tell me a little bit about where you're located?
Yeah, so I'm in Clearwater, Florida right now. I go back and forth between Clearwater and Los Angeles.
Cool. So what's your favorite part about being in Florida right now?
Well, all my family's here, my friends are here, and it's definitely a nice, like, little refresher to come back. It's like all very slow here, and I like that. So yeah, I'm really just get to spend time with family and like catch up on my school.
Yeah, sounds great. What's your favorite part about being in LA?
I think just like being surrounded by creatives out there, it's very cool. It's very different for me. And yeah, just kind of always being able to make music. I love that.
Yeah. When did you decide to pick up music?
So I've been like pretty obsessed with music for my whole life, but it was like very classic. Like I was doing vocal and piano lessons and recitals and talent shows and all
Mm,
that. And then I got invited to my first writing camp when I was 12. And that's where I met like some songwriters and producers and kind of just figured out the whole process of it all. And I kind of fell in love with being an artist from there and learned about all the different elements. And then, yeah, it's been a few years since that. And I just kind of kept moving along and meeting more people.
that's cool. And then from there, you kind of just gain your connections.
Yeah, pretty much. It was very natural. I got really lucky with it. And then yeah, I started going to LA more often. And really, I mean, you really just meet so many random people there. You're always around musicians and creatives, which I think is definitely my favorite part.
That's awesome. Who inspired you as a musician and what's were the songs that you learned how to play?
Definitely Lana Del Rey. That was like my sister is 11 years older than me, and she kind of introduced me to all of my musical influences. And so yeah, Lana Del Rey was like very early on there for me, and I feel like that was really the only like influence I brought with me to that first writing camp. And I have like all of her albums and like sheet music books. I like printed everything out, bought every book, and yeah, that was like really it. And she, inspired me in so many, I mean, and definitely learning all of that on the piano and kind of breaking that down. And then I got to be more interested in her writing later on. But yeah, that was she was there for me. She was my favorite, and she still is. I still love her.
Yeah, that's awesome. And while we were talking a little bit earlier, you were mentioning a little bit about your sister.
Mhm.
Could you tell me a little bit about more about that and your relationship together? It seems like it's very special.
Yeah, sure. I mean, she definitely influenced me musically a lot, which I don't even know if she realizes, but she really did. Bringing Lana Del Rey into my life was like a big one. And yeah, we're 11 years apart, and I feel like now that we're both a little bit older, we're like more like friends, and it's really nice. And yeah, we both kind of have a lot in common when it comes to like the things that we love. And obviously, I mean, it's very important for me to be surrounded by family, and my family has always influenced me in my music and been so supportive. So it's just nice to have that there.
Yeah, it sounds really special. How do you think your music has grown or changed over the past couple of years?
I think I've just gotten a lot more comfortable over the years, and I kind of have a writing style now. Like there's certain things that I'll just naturally write, and I'll be like, oh, that actually sounds like me, which I feel like when you're first just getting used to it, you're kind of just writing to write. But now I feel like I have like a genuine way of wording things that sounds like me and what I want to present myself as. But yeah, and also like I like my delivery more. Like I think I've
Mm,
grown vocally, and I'm starting to become a lot more secure with that, which was always like an issue for me because I've just always loved my writing more than my singing. But yeah, it's just been a lot more natural and more comfortable lately. And I've been writing all my songs with Sam Nicolosi, and he's my favorite, and we just have like a great writing relationship. And he's also been super helpful on that end. Just, he's great mentor, super inspiring, and we just kind of like hang out and write, and he's really helped me get like to this place.
that's super cool. And it's really cool that you got to be able to gain that connection through a music camp. That's really
Oh
neat.
yeah, totally. It's really interesting how it's all interconnected because I mean, seriously, the people I met there met more people, met more people, met more people, met Sam.
Yeah, that's all it takes though.
Yeah, totally.
So tell me about the writing process behind your new single, We're Not Special.
Well, this one was super easy for us because we were sitting just like singing the melodies to this like pretty little acoustic guitar thing he had going. And yeah, it lived a couple of lives too because we had worked on it the day before and it was like really upbeat and very different. And then we kind of I just like my sad little songs, you know, and if something's not working out for me, I'm just going back to that. Because I think it's good to have a comfort zone as an artist. And so I went back to that and we were singing and I sang the "We're Not Special" line, and that kind of, you know, set the tone for the whole thing. And then we had the verse melody, and I sang the first verse like all the way through, and we were like, okay, that works. And then the chorus was super easy. That kind of wrote itself as we were recording the other parts. And yeah, then Sam did the second verse, and it was just like perfect. And yeah, and then that we added like the little bridge towards the end. It was very like a very natural writing process, and those are my favorites, where you can just kind of have the bare bones and then keep adding little things because you can and you have the time. But yeah, it was really fun.
That's super cool. And would you say the melody came first or the lyrics came first? I mean, you know, mentioned the "We're Not Special" being like the key part, but yeah,
I guess a little bit of both, because when I sang that melody, when I sang, you know, the lyrics, so I think a little bit of both. And then yeah, so I guess it would technically be melodies first if we want to get like technical about it, just because that's kind of how it always happens for me. But yeah, "We're Not Special," that line happened really early on.
yeah, that's really cool. And then it just like led along the whole tone of the single, it seems like, which is really cool.
Thank you.
Yeah, it has a really relatable message too that I think a lot of people can like convey and connect to. Yeah.
Thank you.
Will influence and inspire projects in the future?
I think just me being more of myself in music is really what it is. And I feel like a lot of people say that, but it just felt really honest to me. The writing, it just felt really honest. And I liked presenting myself in that way. And so I think I'm just gonna keep doing that.
Yeah, honestly, I think a lot of people notice that too. Whenever you're a little bit more vulnerable, whenever you're like being yourself, I think whenever you're being your most authentic self, it just creates that.
Yeah.
Like you can feel it a lot more than if you're just singing along to a song, you know?
Yeah, totally.
Yeah. What do you have next? Like what's next for you?
Well, I'll be releasing a bunch of singles this year, which I'm super excited about, very consistently, like basically every month. And I have a new one that'll be coming out in March, which I haven't really like announced yet, but it will be in March. And then yeah, just like leading up to my next project, and I'm really, really excited about it. It's my favorite things I've ever made. So
Cool.
I'm really excited.
Can you leak any other details? Any themes that you want to talk about?
It's very acoustic guitar based, a little darker, much sadder than "We're Not Special," which it sounds like it's kind of hard to get there, but it actually is. Like it's been very therapeutic, very cathartic for me, and I'm obsessed with it. Also, I think it's kind of like weirder than the stuff I've done in the past, which I liked being able to add like a little bit of that in there. But yeah, it sounds exactly like me. It's very consistent with me like over the years, which I think is kind of a hard thing to do.
Yeah, that's really cool. I'm looking forward to hearing more from you.
Thank you.
Yeah. Do you have any additional thoughts? Anything you want to bring up?
I feel like we covered it. Yeah, I just like talking about my music.
Yeah, no, like I'm really excited for you. You're just getting started and everything.
Thank you. Thank you so much.
Yeah, no problem. And you're going to be graduating high school in next May, you said?
Next May, yeah.
Wow.
Excited.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
A year early too, which I'm pretty proud of.
Yeah, that's really exciting.
Hopefully it all goes well.
So you're gonna just pursue the music full time, or are you gonna go for any majors, any college, anything like that?
Maybe. I'm definitely gonna move out to LA, and it really depends on like where it all is. If I'm touring, if you know what, I don't know what's gonna go on with how I'm putting out my music or what, but yeah, it'll really just depend on where I am with like this, on the basis of it being like my job. But I would like to like you know, major in like composition or music theory or something along those lines at some point. I'm not super picky about it though, so we'll see.
Yeah, no, that sounds really exciting. But yeah, congrats on your release, and yeah, I'm really excited for you for what you have to offer next. It's just really cool to hear about it.
Thank you.
No problem. Well, I think that's all I have time for today, but it was really nice to meet you.
Yeah, thank you so much. And
Thank you
seriously,
guys.
yeah, this worked out well.